3, 2, 1. I'll read. So, getting away from the gambling stuff and that then, another way I've found to make money, and as you can see from the title of the video, I've made just over £260 in 3 weeks, and a bit more effort in this one, but it's a system called, or a service called Crep Chief Notify. I keep on saying Crep Chef because it's like a crepe is cooked by a chef, but it's Crep Chief Notify. I have no idea where the names come from. I've not even looked up why or where, but you can see this is the home page, and I'll leave a link in the description. If you wouldn't mind using my link, I get a little kickback if you do join. But I'm going to show you exactly what I've done on the last 3 weeks. I started this it was the 1st of September. It's the 23rd of September as I'm recording this video. The reason I haven't left it another week is because I'm not doing so much on it now. I've done it really hot. Well, I wouldn't say hardcore, but I've done the best time I had available in the first 2 weeks, and then like last week I didn't do as much, and next week I'm not planning on doing as much because I'm quite busy at the minute, and also I didn't want to do a video at the very end of the month because that's a busy time anyway when I'm doing like all the driftometer calculations. It's taken a lot longer now to pull everything together at the end of the month. It's just like it's an admin chore than anything else at the minute for all this stuff. But I'm obviously still working, so I've got limited time. But as you can see, it's a reselling system, and basically it's a case of supply and demand. There's two aspects to it really. The first one's what they call sneakers, which I can't get away with at all. At my age, they're called trainers. So they do, if I'm circling that sort of Nike logo there, but they do a lot of buying and selling of high-end and in-demand trainers. And you can see some of the other products as well. And the reason I'm pointing these out on this screen is because one of the rules of when you're a member, I've noticed the rules, you can't go around banding the products they're recommending and promoting and giving you information and advice on. I'll go into how to do that later on in the video, but you can't mention any of the products. I'm assuming that's obviously to protect their sort of system and information. They're doing all the hard work finding these products and advising you what to buy and sell. I mean, it's good actually because they tell you what to buy, where to buy it from, the price you should be paying for it, and how much you should be looking to sell it for, and on what platform you should be selling it. And it's been quite an eye-opener for me actually. I've done a lot of, I've done like reselling on eBay, I've done reselling on Amazon. I fell out with both of them, to be honest, in the past, so I don't know if that's going to restrict me here or not. But I'll show you my information. I've got a spreadsheet here ready to show you in a few minutes. I just wanted to go through this first. But yeah, the main rule is you can't mention any of the products as well. It's probably not fair to all their members who are paying the $24.99 a month. It's not fair to their members if somebody else is coming in and mentioning all the products. It's like supplying other people's tips, I suppose, to your sort of viewers and stuff. So I ain't going to go into any of the products. I've got them blurred out on my spreadsheet for the purposes of this video, albeit a bit of a primitive blur, but hopefully it'll do the job. So, but what I can do, obviously, I can show you their main screen and I can show you the products that they're showing. So they've obviously got PlayStation there, Xbox, eBay, and they've got a Nike logo as well. And you can see the kind of thing there. They've got a really good active Discord group. So when you become a member, you get access to that group, and it's got some really good bots in there. And I'll open my mobile phone so I can run through those shortly with you. And I can just sort of tell you what kind of things they do have on there. And there is a good video though as well if you look up Crep Chief Notify on YouTube. If you follow them on YouTube, there's a really good video where one of the lads goes through they go through all the sort of sections of the Discord group and explains what each section is, because there's quite a lot to it. There's bots which I've never seen so sophisticated in Discord as well. I'm not a member of that many Discord groups, but it seems one of the most sophisticated I've seen so far. For example, if you're selling something on eBay, you can do watch for watch. So you can ask people to watch your items in return for you watching theirs, and it just raises the profile of the item. You've got no intentions of buying them, you're just watching other members' items. And also a eBay view adder, there's a bot to do that. So you just supply the bot with your item ID, your item number on eBay, and it'll add like 10 views to it automatically, which will raise the profile of your item that you're trying to sell in the eBay algorithms, and hopefully display it higher in the lists and stuff like that. That's the kind of things to do. But I'm going to go, that's the main page, and you can see there it's $24.99 a month, but that's from as little as, I'm actually paying more than that. I'm paying $34.99 a month. I'll come onto that in the pricing. So how it works then, and again, he has some more products that I'm just going to leave there and not discuss. I don't want to get banned or binned off the system. I've only been using it 3 weeks, so this is just like an honest review of what I've been doing for the 3 weeks. I'm going to add a little caveat at the end, so stay on the end for that as well, because I've got something about sort of to do with my personal circumstances and using this system. But that'll be towards the end of the video. But as you can see here, there's like Amazon, Sony, Nike again, Pokemon, and a little Pokemon thing there. eBay, and there's a pair of trainers as well, and Xbox logo there, so that gives you an idea. So you can read that there. That's what you do. But basically, it's supply and demand. One of the other thing from beginner to professional as well as like a graduation bot on the Discord group. So you start off at beginner, and once you're happy and you're sufficient, you've gone through all the beginner stages, then you can go up to the next stage and you graduate, and that gives you access to new groups, because I think they sell sort of event tickets as well, which personally I'm not too keen on, as I've always not thought much of ticket touts, because that's effectively what it is. But I'll make a decision on that later on. I don't need to make a decision about that yet, because I don't have access to any of that stuff at the moment anyway. I haven't even got involved with the trainers, to be honest, other than I did I did buy a pair in my size, and I actually kept them, because I couldn't, not a pair like that, I must add. I hasten to add, I'm not into all that kind of stuff. I'm a bit old in the tooth for that. The other thing as well is that the lads, they seem quite a bunch of decent, like, young lads running this service, and they've got like a total different outlook. Like, they've got a total different language to me. They've got things like cop, which is where you actually sort of buy something. Like cop, I'd rather say something like nab, so it's equivalent to like nabbing something. They've got the drops, which is where there's a drop, and restocks, where stuff's restocked, and if you cop something. And Percy as well, which is another one I've come across, which I think is for where you keep it for your own personal use, which is what I've done for the trainers. It was a pair of trainers, like more to my style, not this kind of style. Like, if I tell you I'm a kind of Adidas Gazelle and Samba man, that's the kind of thing I got. But these were like limited special edition, linked to a sort of indie musician back in the day. Well, he's still around at the minute, but they started back in the day, in about the 90s. Hopefully that's not giving too much away. But I bought these in a size 10, which is my size, with the full intent. I bought them for 109 quid, full intentions to sell on, and people have been selling them for like 170 to 200 quid. But when I got them, I thought, they're half decent them, so I just kept them, started wearing them. So, and there's one other thing I've kept as well, which I'll go on to, because I bought 3 and I've had to keep one. I was more or less forced into that one, but I'll get onto that when I come onto the spreadsheet. But as you can see, I'll go on to pricing now, so you can see the price in this thing. So here we'll go for the pricing. So if you're paying individually by month at a time, it's $34.99, and that's the membership I'm doing. And the reason I'm doing that is I do that with everything, to be honest, at least the first few months, to make sure it's okay. Absolutely, I mean, you can see it goes up to $549.99 for a lifetime license. on the basis in 3 weeks I've made 260 quid. That is probably the best one to go for long term. However, you've got to make sure it fits. You might not have time to do it, or you might think you've got time to do it, and when you start doing it, you realise you haven't got so much time. I'm going to try and tell you how long it kind of takes, but I've not really been timing it myself. You can do 3 months for $84.99, which works out at $28.33 a month, or you can do an annual one for $299.99, which works out at $24.99 a month. So that long term, that would be the best one to go for. I mean, you don't know if these guys will just close down by this time next year, anything like that. It doesn't look like it would. I'm not sure how long it's been going from. Like maybe it's about 2017, but it just seems to be something that's sort of ballooned a bit recently. They might get too popular for their own good, because obviously the more members they've got on there, the harder it's going to be for people to blag the stuff, or should I say cop the stuff, getting in with down with the kids with the lingo there. It might be harder and harder to get the stuff, but it's amazing what people will pay for stuff that they can't get hold of. And if you can get hold of it by getting the lowdown from these guys, then that's basically how it works. So what I'm just going to do this monthly to start with, and see if I can keep it going, because I spent 2 weeks doing it, like I say, not hardcore, but I spent 2 weeks doing it. Last week I've dropped off a bit, and next week I'm probably not going to do much at all, although I have been on this morning then just bought a load of stock, but not necessarily. It's like there's been an announcement of like an outdoor retail outlet selling stuff at a massive discount for like $5.99 per item. So I bought quite a few items. I bought about 150 quid's worth of stuff this morning on their sale. A lot of it's going out of stock now anyway. But with it being outdoors, probably about 75% of it is summer related, apart from like, say, maybe like waterproof jackets and stuff can be like winter as well. But I'm talking things like tents and outdoor stuff that you would use in the garden for like in the summer. So potentially I will hold on to that until I come back from Spain in March and sell it next year. And again, that's another thing as well. You need the capital. Now, whether you do that via a credit card or cash, cash is probably your best. So if you've got a bit of money put aside, you can use that and then just keep topping it up with the sales that you're getting. But obviously, if you're holding on to stuff, you're tying that capital up. And the other thing is you can use as a credit card if you've got like a decent, I mean, I say decent, but it doesn't have to be like mega amounts, a limit on your credit card, credit limit on your credit card. But with a credit card, I'd just be wary and saying, this isn't financial advice. I would just make sure whatever you do is paid off every month. Otherwise, the interest payments are just going to eat into your profits. So you need to be paying it off every month if you're doing that. And obviously, if I've bought 150 quid's worth of stuff this morning and I'm not selling it until next March, that's an issue, because I wouldn't be able to pay it. Potentially, I wouldn't be able to pay that credit card off. So you need to work out your financials and your sums and stuff, as well as if you've got the time to put into it. So you do spend a lot of time buying the stuff, trying to buy the stuff. Sometimes quite often you'll miss out, because the reason you're buying the stuff is because it's in high demand or it's really cheap. And then when you come to sell the really cheap stuff, it might not be in demand. You've got to hope that the prices go back up and they don't stay that cheap. But obviously the stuff this morning for $5.99 an item isn't going to stay that cheap. It might be the fact that it's like end of season stuff, and then the new stuff will come out for next year and this stuff won't be available, but we'll just try and sell it at some kind of profit anyway. So I'm going to go onto my spreadsheet then, and this is it here. I've put this, so as you can see, this is my numbering system here. This is just to say I bought this item in 2023 and it's item number 1. So in 2024 I'll start this number again. You can see I've bought 14 items then. I've got the item name here, and I've got the source, which is the outlet or the shop or the online website where I've bought it from. I've put this in so you can see the type of things we're looking at, but there's things like kids' toys. Some of the kids' toys stuff can be like, I don't know, crossover a bit with collectors. I've got collector in here, so it's a collector item. I've got clothing. They do a lot of things like watches and, like I say, trainer releases. I never knew trainer or sneaker releases. I'm not going to keep saying. I'm just going to keep saying trainers. Too old for it to say sneakers now. It's so American as well, I think, by the sounds of it. But I didn't realise the trainer side of things was so big. Watches is a big one as well. There's a big demand. Some of these though, recently you've had to go out and stand outside a shop, and they've recommended getting there like the day before, where you see people camping out. So if that's not for you, then I know that's not for me. So I didn't go for things like that. Plus they were only at the big outlets in like London, Manchester, Edinburgh, and I'm in the northeast, so there wasn't one over my way anyway. Not that I would have done it if there was. I'm just, but I think these watches were like something like 200, 250 quid, and they were getting sold for 600 to 700. That's the kind of money you can make on the items, and the trainers are ridiculous as well. They're going, you can buy them from even when they first released 300 quid, and they're selling for 750. But on the lower end, I got mine for 109, and I should have sold them for like 170 plus, which I didn't. I started wearing them, which is fine. I made that decision. I'm quite happy with that decision. Got a nice pair of trainers on my feet when I go out. So you can see I've bought 14 items, and one thing I did say from the outset is I didn't get involved with the trainers yet. I'm just doing this as like a test. So there's no trainers on here at all apart from the ones I bought, which aren't on here. And I tried to limit me spend to like 100 quid. So you can see down this column here this is what I've bought stuff for. You can see I bought something there for 90 quid. And I listed it on eBay for 175, and all this stuff's recommended by the CCN people. I'm going to call it CCN, Crep Chief Notify. Too hard for me to get that out. So CCN, put the title up there. I listed on eBay for 75 quid, and I sold it, and I got £85 gross profit, except then minus the fees, which is further along the sheet, which I'll go further along the sheet in a second. So you can see here, that is your main places you list on. So main places are like eBay, Facebook, and Gumtree. And you can see along here, this is just a spreadsheet I've made, by the way, and nothing that's been supplied by CCN. I don't know if there's anything official that they do supply. So in red, I've got the buy. In orange, I've got the listing or trying to sell it. And then in green for go, I've got the what we've sold and how we've sold it. So you can see I listed this on all three those platforms, and I sold it on eBay. I listed this on 3 platforms, and I sold it on Gumtree. That was actually the same item. I've got a bit of an issue about listing the same item. I was just going to put 2 in quantity here, but then I realised on this one, eBay, people will buy it for the buy price unless you can place an offer on eBay, but only if the seller decides they want to accept offers, and I haven't done that yet. So if I've listed something for 75 quid, I'll get 75 quid when I sell it, or I won't sell it. Nobody can say like offer a 70, but because this second one was on Gumtree, I sold it quicker as well. I sold it 2 days earlier. This was something I picked up in a shop as well, so I had to go out to a shop and buy this, but they tell you which shop to go to buy it. So I had it for sale on the same day, and I listed it on the same day I bought it, and I sold one the next day on Gumtree, but they knocked us down to 70 quid, which is fine because I'll go along and show you the fees for eBay shortly. I'll look at it as well. £25 gross profit on that one, £30 gross profit on that one. But I probably made more on the Gumtree one because of the fees on eBay and postage. So then I've got things like collector, I've got clothing, I've got outdoor, I've got health, and I've got another couple of collector ones there. And so you can see what I'm buying stuff for. So I'll go into the other one that Toys. So these two outdoor ones here, these were from, again, a pickup. I went and picked them up from a shop. Ordered them online for like click and collect, and I went and collected them. And I listed them both on Facebook and Gumtree. The reason I didn't list them on eBay is because they're really heavy. And I bought 3 of them, but there's only 2 on here. And they were like the big outdoor things for like the garden, and the heavy, and they were 27 quid each, and they were like reduced half price. So tried to sell them both for 55 quid. Well, I was going to sell all 3 for 55 quid. I did list all 3, but I've taken one of the rows out now because I left one outside in the box overnight, and absolutely pissed down. And the box got soaked, and honestly, there was the box just like was during them like the bad weather, and the box was absolutely drenched. So I've actually just put that one together and put it in the garden. So I'm sitting using that one. So I've lost 27 quid there basically. But I tell you what, it's a really, really good product for 27 quid. I've used it a few times now, and it's really good. But then luckily I sold, well, don't say luckily, like I sold one on, well, I've sold them both on Facebook now. Didn't get any joy with Gumtree for them. But I sold them both on Facebook Marketplace, and there's no fees involved with that. If you don't know what it is, it's you just sell them on the Facebook Marketplace, and they don't take any commission or fees. But you do have to like meet the seller and sell them. I mean, they both came round to pick them up from me. So I sold one like the next day, and then another one I sold. I thought, oh, this one's taking a while to sell, but 5 days later I sold it. So yeah. I sold one for 55, and because the second one was taking a while to sell, and they offered me a straight 50. The first person just give me the money I was asking for. The second person offered me 50, so I just accepted that. So you can see I made £28 profit and £23 profit. So that £28 profit there pays for the one I'm sitting using. Won't get much use out of it in winter, I don't think, because it's a summer product as well, which was another reason. So sort of getting to the middle of September, they offered me 50 quid. I just sort of took the hand off, really. I would have probably sold it for 45, to be honest. But any lower than that, I would have probably just kept it for next year. So, is any others to mention on here? Let's have a look. All right, okay. So these clothing ones, they're all the same item as well. So I've split them down into 4 rows. And yeah, these are to mention. So the idea, the recommendation here was you buy them for $19.99 and sell them for 40 quid. And I've listed all 4 of them on eBay and Facebook. I sold one on, you can see I listed them all on the 8th of September. I sold one on the 13th, and I sold it for $27.99. I did list all 4 to start with at 40 quid, but I was dropping the price each day. Because I noticed on the Discord group as well, people were saying they're having a bit of trouble shifting them. Some people did get 40 quid when they first came out, but I think the supply caught up with the demand on this one. It's probably the worst purchase, it's the worst one I've done yet, but you live and learn. Oh, and the main thing about this as well, it's pretty low risk. I'm going to tell you why in a sec, but you can see here I sold one on the 13th for $27.99, and I sold one on the 17th for $27.99, and the other 2 haven't sold yet. So we've still got these 2 in stock. Now, I say in stock, in hand, I've got them with me, so if anybody does buy them, I can post them out. The thing I need to mention about this is CCN advertises this as very low risk to no risk, because the idea behind, if I'm still left with these 2, you get your refund policy with all these items you're buying. So you can, generally the lowest you'll get is like being able to take them back or send them back within sort of 28 days of purchase. So I bought these on the 8th, so I've got until about, say, the very start of October. I could send these 2 back. Now, normally that's free, but I think for these ones it's $2.95 postage. So I'll lose $2.95 postage if I sent these 2 back together if I didn't sell them. I'll keep hold of them till the 1st of October and see if they sell. and then I'll make a decision whether I can be bothered to send them back. I might not even be asked to send them back. I might just keep them, and I might wear one again. I got 3 different sizes, and I've got one size left. One of these 2 items that are left will fit me, so I could wear it. It's possibly not my style, so I probably won't go that option, but it is an option if and that's called a Percy, where you keep it for personal use, but you probably shouldn't be doing that if you don't like them and you're just doing it because you can't sell them, but it's an option. But the main part of the strategy is to send them back. Like I say, if you're returning something to a shop you've bought from, because a lot of this I've bought from a shop, unfortunately these 4 clothing items were an online purchase, so I have to return them in the post. And like I say, normally that's free. Sometimes one of the items I bought was 90 days. So I've got 3 months more or less to send that back. I can't remember which one that was. I think I'm going to actually add a column in here to. Record the return policy. Probably put a date in and the number of days you've got, and then if there's a price attached to it. But like I say, most of them to return are free. Okay, so I'm just going to move to the right here and show you my sold. So you can see what I've listed there, and you can see what I've sold. So I'm just going to concentrate on these green columns now. So you can see everything I've sold comes to a total of £748, which means my gross profit is £339.51. I can see the gross profit for each item. And then you can see the gross profit margin, and I've got 174,900 one here, which is absolutely ridiculous. But I'll tell you the reason for that is this is another thing that CCN do. They give you like promos and that, so you can join these there's like these subscription places where they give you your first order for free, and you only pay postage and things like this. This was like a health thing. It was like a protein thing, and it was a penny for if you were a new customer and it was your first order, you got for a penny, and that included free postage, and getting this thing for a penny, and then you can sell it. And they recommended selling it for I think it was 19.99 or 20 quid, and I bought it on the 14th and I listed it, and then I didn't sell it straight away, so I just reduced the price to £17.50, sorry, and sold it straight away at £17.50 by undercutting some of the other sellers on I was undercutting them on eBay, but I actually eventually sold it on Facebook. And you can see there, that just means I've got a profit of £17.49, and so that means it's an astronomical percentage increase. But most of them will be like, if you get double the price what you paid, so I bought that for 35, sold it for 70, that's 100% profit. You can see the fees, and by far the best ones are Facebook and Gumtree, because you don't pay any fees. You start taking your fees off the eBay, and when you post stuff, you have to obviously pay for packing and postage, and that reduces that down to your net profit. So my net profit is £260.85, because I've spent, that's not right, that cell there isn't right, because these total to way more than 15 quid. I don't know what that's doing there. R13, that should be R4. Found a little error on my spreadsheet there, guys. Still not right. R14, why is it going to R14? Should be R4. There we go. £78 in fees. That's your 748 sales minus your buy, which leaves you £339 profit minus your £78 fees. It's £260 in sort of 3 weeks' work. Total. That's an average in my profit margin, which is 35,000. That doesn't really mean much. I might take these percentages out now, because this one is just skewing the whole thing. I might actually just take that one out, because that is absolutely hammering that number there. That's better. So that's showing me a 70% profit. I think these obscure ones I probably just need to take out, because it's just ridiculous buying something for a penny and selling it for £17.50. Just making the numbers look mad. Okay, to summarise then, I'm very impressed. It's early doors, obviously, but I'm very impressed with the money I've made. I've kept the purchases down to £100, as you know from the spreadsheet I've shown you. I'm not got any of the trainers or anything like that, or any of the ticket sales. So I think there is a lot more potential over and above what I'm doing. So the one caveat I have got is you do need to spend quite a bit of time. The more you put into this, the more you'll get out of it. You have to source the products. You have to either visit stores or go online at the exact right time to try and get them, because there's obviously a high demand for these products in the first place. I found going to stores a lot easier and had more success doing that than going online. I don't know if that'll change when I'm looking at trainers and stuff. And the other thing is, when you're selling, obviously if you sell on eBay, then you have to package your stuff up and take it to the post office, which isn't a major hassle, but you still have to do it. And if you're selling on platforms like Facebook Marketplace or Gumtree, then you're going to have personal callers coming to pay you money and take the product away, at which point they might start sort of trying to hassle you down and stuff like that. But just stick to your guns. But it is just a case of, like, you do have to put time in. It's not a passive thing, this, but it is rewarding so far anyway. I'm going to set up a Discord server chat room for this, just so everybody who does get involved, or anybody who is already involved, can just discuss bits and pieces away from CCN if necessary. Probably don't want any product information in there because, like I say, it's against the rules of CCN. And the one big caveat I've got is this isn't something I'll be able to do in Spain, not at all. There is one section which I'll go into in a sec, but when I'm in Spain, I wouldn't be able to do this. You can't you can't go and buy the products. You can't sell the products easily because you wouldn't have them in Spain. They'd be getting delivered to UK addresses and things like that. So I will be ending. I'll stay a member in October, but I'll probably end my membership at the end of October unless something drastically changes. There is one section I'm going to start looking at drop shipping. So there is one section where it shows you all the Amazon deals, whereby you can purchase Amazon products at a really reduced price. It does have a Discord section for that, which is quite interesting because you can then either sell them for a good profit on eBay, or you can actually, once the price goes back up, because these price drops aren't normally permanent, then you when they go back up, you can actually resell them back to Amazon as well at a profit, which is mental, but that's the way it works. One other thing I like about this is the so the last thing I like about this is the low risk. You might think it's risky buying all these products, but like I say, you've got the refund, you've got the returns policy for all these companies you're buying this stuff from. So if you do get a 30-day return, you just return the product after 30 days if there's any issues trying to sell it on, and then you haven't really lost anything other than a bit of time and maybe a little bit of postage, but a lot of the returns are free P&P anyway. Okay, so that's it. It'd be great to hear your views and comments, and like I say, I'll get the Discord chat room set up. Okay, thanks for watching. Cheers now. Gan Canny.